Hello, Virgo. Okay, so let's take a look at this. What we have is you open the month with Queen of Rods in reverse. So Queen of Rods is a card of, it's a card of fire. So she's the Queen of Fire. Often it can represent Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. And Queen of Rods means someone who's in their natural vibrancy. They're a master of their confidence and boldness and showing up. She's usually very attractive and witty, and she knows how to come back with like a sly remark, or she just doesn't really take herself all that seriously, but she's very intelligent, and she's just kind of, you know, she's a sunny person. She's the Queen of Fire. But with it in the reverse position, this tells me that you may not be feeling all of your radiance, Virgo, or that you may be having a conflict with someone who is a Queen of Rods person. So that could be Sagittarius, it could be one of the fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, or because they're in line with the King of Rods here, this is also showing up in reverse. And Tower. It could be that something dramatic happens in regards to a couple that's related to fire, or some couple that's like in a prominent position. It could be that these two people are, I won't say like your nemesis, but your opponents perhaps, or someone that you may be in conflict with. Like this could be a couple that lives next door and then suddenly and dramatically they move out. Something's going on with Tower with these two. So I don't know if you know of any Sagittarians, Leos, or Aries, or it could just be people with a fiery temperament. So if there's a couple that is in your midst that is, you know, has this fiery stuff going on, the fact that they're in reverse tells me that there may be some sort of conflict going on, but things are going to change dramatically with them towards the end of the month. So if that's the situation, you can look forward towards the end of the month with something changing drastically. Other than that, I'm reading the Queen of Rods as either it could be a woman that you're having difficulty with or not seeing things eye to eye with, or it could be that you're just not feeling your natural sunny radiance. You're kind of feeling sort of down, outcast, like when things are overcast or gray. That's what opposite of Queen of Rods is like, just feeling a little sullen, perhaps. And it may be related to something that you're waiting on. This is Farmer, which is all about sowing seeds, patience, reassessment, re-looking at something, having to just consider, is this the garden that I wanted to plant? Are these the fruits that I want to reap? So at the beginning of the month, I'm also seeing there's Devil in reverse, and then there's Five of Swords in reverse. And Five of Swords in reverse is about picking up the pieces. What I'm getting from all of this is that you're looking at something with new eyes, that you're reassessing something, that Seven of Coins energy. You know, so maybe you aren't as happy with something as you thought you might be, and you're reassessing it. You're taking the time to reevaluate. It may have been that it was passionate in the beginning. That's what this Devil can represent. But now you're seeing it for what it is. Initially, you know, Devil had this seduction in the matter, or this passion, or this control, but now the Devil's in reverse, you're kind of seeing behind the curtain, and you're reevaluating and reassessing it. But yet I also see that you've got this Five of Swords in reverse, which means picking up the pieces. So this is gathering what you can from the battle or from whatever conflict is going on. The sun is setting on the situation, so something's coming perhaps to an end, but this Five of Swords in reverse tells me to ask you, are you collecting and keeping what is valuable about the situation? In other words, if there are lessons to be learned from whatever interaction is happening here, from whatever made you sad, that you're reassessing, that you kind of saw through now, that you've seen behind the curtain on, are you learning the lesson from it? Because Five of Swords is about collecting what's left over after the battle has happened and taking something away from the battlefield that's valuable. And usually that means, it can mean literal physical things, but often it means, because swords are the mental realm and they represent ideas, it can mean taking new ideas away from something, seeing something in a new way from having gone through this challenge or conflict. So with it in reverse, it makes me question, are you reaping the benefits of whatever this is that you've had to reassess, or that you're seeing it differently now? That's what Seven of Coins with Devil tells me in reverse. Something seduced you, potentially, and was in control, but now you're stepping back and reassessing, perhaps changing direction, because it's making you sullen or not satisfied, not happy. That's what I get at the beginning of the month for you, Virgo. So, and that can be a good thing. That can be a good thing. Having discovered something, you know, when you discover that a diamond is really just glass, that's it. Whenever we believe in something that's true rather than something that's false, that's a step in the right direction, even though it may not be what we want. Certainly, like discovering that we don't have a diamond, that something is just glass, is it's not what we want, but it's helpful for us to know the truth of the matter. I also see, so this King of Rods could be involved in whatever is going on here. It will change dramatically towards the end of the month. Again, this is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. It's the King of Fire. And because he's in reverse, it tells me that there may be some sort of conflict with him, or there may be in ways which you're not seeing eye to eye with him right now. You just kind of have to follow your intuition at the middle of the month. That's what High Priestess is all about. This is a card of intuition, of following your inner knowledge, following what kind of your gut feelings know, or following your gut. Or this is even more about tapping into your emotional realm, your intuitive side. It's what happens when you get really quiet and you go into retreat or meditation. It's the messages that come through there. You may have to listen to that, because on the surface, it may look like you're not in a successful or victorious position. Six of Rods is success, victory, championship, acclaim, pride. So it may not look like that you're in a successful position, and things may be taking longer than you expect them to. Eight of Wands is approaching completion, swiftness, things happening very rapidly, getting the information you need. But I get the sense that it's not happening. You're not having success with having things come quickly. And you need to really sort of look within. All three of these cards, Seven of Coins, High Priestess, and Star. If you can see that, like the midnight energy here, and this is all about reassessment and reevaluation, it really tells me that you kind of need to look within to find your own inner truth, your own inner reality about the situation. Because on the outside, he may be winning this hand, the King of Rods person, towards the middle of the month. This is success in reverse, and this is quickness in reverse. So that means that you may not be having success in the time frame that you were hoping for. He's in line with the success and swiftness, but it's all in reverse. So it's kind of like it's like the cheater is getting ahead, or the person who is in conflict is actually like winning this one out. You're not having success in the short term right now. Tower is sudden change, dramatic change, things that are unexpected coming into play, things that are unforeseen. And there is a way in which you need to not lose hope. Star is a card all about one's own inner worth and hope, and your own inner dreams, your own self-acceptance, having enough, being enough, seeing things, in a hopeful, optimistic way. When Star's in reverse, that says to me, don't lose hope. Like, don't give up hope. Because like it might be that this thing happens right before you're about to give up hope. And you have this Page of Swords showing up for you. So this is a younger person. This is someone who is very idealistic. He's very, devoted to his way of thinking. And he's willing to explore, you know, he's willing to fight for something that he believes in. So I kind of see this as like a young teenager who's willing to go out and try to save the world. So Page of Swords is showing up for you. I guess the way I'm seeing these two together here towards the end is saying don't give up hope and be willing to fight for what you believe in, Page of Swords, or being willing to just stand up for what you believe in, say, this is my truth. This is what I see to be true. And it looks like you're coming out of a period of having felt like you bottomed out or felt like the cycle has completed. I see this with Tower happening, that maybe that's related to the cycle ending, and then you're coming out of it. So it may feel like Ten of Swords means being surrounded by certain types of thoughts that are kind of piercing you on every level. Someone had said about this card, it's like death by 1,000 cuts, which is an interesting thing. It's like all these niggling little ideas and thoughts that are kind of eating away at you. It's just negativity. It's negative thinking. This tells me that you may free yourself from any negative thinking in this cycle, and just stand up for your truth. So towards the end of the month, don't give up hope. Stand up for your truth. You know, let go of any negative thinking that you might have had, because there is this dramatic change happening, Virgo. So I'm just going to say, if there's anything related to a couple or a male and female that are fiery in any way, something's going to change at the end of the month. You may have begun to see through the situation at the beginning of the month. See if you can reap some benefits of at least a lesson learned, or a new idea, a new way of seeing things and thinking about things. Like, maybe I won't be so seduced next time. Maybe I won't let the other person take control, and let the success fall out of my hands. But things will change. Hold on to your truth and let go of any negative thinking that may... It looks like that's an end of a cycle for you, Virgo. So that's I'm just seeing, like, hold on to yourself. Hold on to your own integrity with this one. And look within. Trust yourself. Hold on to this High Priestess energy. And also, don't lose hope.